you ever griped when you go to buy an airline ticket at the outrageous costs and the silly new rules that have been put in force? The financial strain of increasing gas prices is particularly painful for airlines because it is their single biggest expense. Record prices for oil are threatening to send airline carriers swimming towards the dramatic, severe cutbacks, job cuts, and industry-wide scramble to save cash. The New York Times had an article published in 2008 that stated, just 8 years ago, only 15% of an airline ticket went to gasoline. Today, it's as high as 40%. USA published an article in March of 2008 that stated oil prices per barrel rose from just $72 last year up to $105 a barrel this year. Airlines are spending much more on fuel yearly, $2 billion more in Delta's case. I had a chance to interview Captain William Knutson from Continental Airlines, and he let us know that a 747 can carry up to 57,000 gallons of fuel, which weighs over 380,000 pounds. The planes burn it at 25,000 pounds or 3,731 gallons per hour. That makes us wonder if we are the only ones suffering from these raising gas prices. Let's look at some of the effects that the raising gas prices have on the airlines themselves. To offset effects of high oil prices, every carrier is looking for new ways to cut costs, but the reality is many airlines have little left to cut. Severe job cuts have taken place. This year alone, Continental cut 1,000 jobs, 300 of them being from pilots. Also, other restrictions that they're putting into effect are weight restrictions. The lighter the plane is, the more gas effective it will be, so they're looking for every possible way to lighten the planes. New York Times article in 2008 published interviewed Mr. McGraw of American Airlines, and he stated every 25 pounds we remove, we save $440,000 a year. They're also carrying less water for bathroom facilities, 25% less, replacing seats and beverage carts with lighter models, and they're also pressure washing off grime and washing the planes nightly. Southwest has already saved $1.6 million in fuel costs since April, just by reducing the drag caused by dirt and debris. Decreased profits. If you take a look at your handout, the chart, it shows airline losses growing with rising oil prices. It'll show the airlines, the major airlines will be on the top. It'll show the price per gallon, total majors at the bottom. As you can see, as gas prices rise, the losses grow steadily. They're also parking older aircraft, which are less fuel effective. Continental has ordered over 700 new Boeings that will be flying more fuel effective than the old ones. They're also flying slower to save gas, just like you're driving in a car. The slower you go, if you drive the speed limit, you get better mileage than if you go speed and go fast. This is slowing down times to destinations by 5 to 10 minutes. Stock prices are also way down. Several airlines have gone out of business due to fuel costs. Some of the airlines include Champion, National, Aloha, Midway, and GoJets. Raised ticket prices are not only affecting the airline corporations themselves, but also the passengers. Let's see how. Passengers are already paying for increased fares of tickets. Prices are rising almost weekly. They're also charging more service charges, including luggage limits. A lot of airlines have started charging for each bag. Some of them will allow you to take one bag but pay for the second. Also, reservation fees by phone and unaccompanied minor charges. Also, the major airlines have started cutting back their flights to smaller cities. Now that we've seen the effects on the airline corporation and the passengers, let's take a look at the future effects. New York Times article in 2008 stated, if prices stay where they are, the nation's airlines will collectively spend $61 billion this year on jet fuel, more than 5 times what they spent in 2002, when travel fell sharply after September 2001 terrorist attacks. If prices keep rising, more airlines will be forced out of business. Also, travel will turn into a luxury only few can afford instead of the norm as it is now. Airline service amenities will diminish and passengers will start to having to pay for each and every extra, including pillows, blankets, meals, and drinks. Airline industry will also continue to be in turmoil, squeezing every penny out of passengers, employees, and not hesitating to cut corners. Now let's review the effects the fuel costs are having on the airline industry. Fuel prices affect almost every aspect of our daily life. Airlines are one industry that is massively suffering from this inflation. William Knudsen said that fuel used to cost under $1 per gallon 5 years ago. Today is $3.50 to $4 per gallon. His flight from Newark to San Juan, Puerto Rico burned 30,000 pounds of fuel. Jet fuel weighs 7.6 pounds per gallon. So they burned over 4,000 gallons at $3.70 per gallon. That's over $16,000 in fuel just for the one flight. 156 passengers on board. If you divide it, the average fuel cost per passenger is $106. That's 3 times the amount it would have cost just 5 years ago. Airline corporations are in constant turmoil, taking a huge deficit in profits, ranging from 1 to 9 billion, stated by USA Today. Passengers are facing grim realities with the fuel prices such as increased price tickets, fewer destination cities, and many more service fees, including luggage, meals, and reservations. Future effects: if price continues to rise, could change the American lifestyle, turning flight into a luxury only few can afford. Service amenities will diminish, the standard will be lowered, the airlines would be a very different industry than they once were. Let's hope fuel prices can subside so travel can be what it once was, but we need to be prepared for the opposite. The effects of evolving gas prices are substantial on the airline industry. If you want to travel anywhere, now would be a good time to take that travel before prices skyrocket any more than they have. Does anyone have any questions?
I do.
Okay.
So this handout that you have, for the losses for the airlines, where did you get that information?
The information was found on the Merrill Lynch Airline Research Database and published on a USA Today article in March of '08. Is there any other questions?
I have a question. I know that gas prices have also affected car travel too. So do you think that the airline cost raising will force people to take other modes of transportation? And if so, what are some of those options that we have?
There's several different options, and yes, it has pushed people away from airlines and cars. The bus has started to take on a higher load than they can handle. Also, railroads. Also, this is almost causing them to go out of business because they can't handle such a large load. Is there anyone else? No more questions?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So did you learn a lot that you didn't know before you did this?
Yeah, I did. I think it was interesting to go through, and it just reminds us all to take traveling as a luxury and not just as a day-to-day thing.